Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Ben Shatliff on Sunday. It is Sunday, March the 5th, 2023, and I hope that everybody is well. Apologies for doing this live programme during the football game. I know which team I would like to win. So far, I believe it is 0-0. In a few moments, we'll take a look at all the latest news stories breaking on this Sunday late afternoon. And well, it's been a rather interesting week in the world of politics and various different things. So we have a little bit of a chin wag in regards to that. And also, I'll be telling you about this book, which I'm still reading, even though I mentioned a while ago. Sometimes it can take a while. Other times, when you get straight into it, then it can be gone within no time. But it's just been busy. But also, another book that I've got this week as well, talks about the stage production, which is based on this, but another which has been rewritten is actually going to be coming to an end at the West End, but it is still going to be going on elsewhere. And it got me thinking what this is all about. The woman in black. So, Black Tower, the woman in black. Not connected, just the person that's going to read them. Before that, though, let's welcome an old friend back to Ben Shatliff on Sunday, and that, of course, is Walk With Me. Thanks to my, to return back to St. Michael's this week. I've not been for quite some time. I've been watching Mass online. I went to private prayer, and I've managed to get some Walk With Me's, and this is which we'll do every Sunday up until, I think, including Easter Sunday. This week it is Forgiven, We Forgive. So let's have a look. The second Sunday of Lent. Redeem us, O God of Israel, from all our distress. Psalm 130 is called De Profundis, Out of the Depths. It is a truly beautiful prayer flowing from the depths of the psalmist's very being. To recite it is a grace, to put it to memory, a blessing. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to my cry for mercy. If you, O Lord, kept a record of sins, O Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, therefore you are feared. Jesus' teaching on forgiveness falls like rain, descends like dew, like showers on new grass, like rain on tender plants. It refreshes, restores, and renews. God has forgiven us. We in turn receive the grace to forgive others. Lord, show me that in forgiving I am forgiven. In showing mercy I receive mercy. And in loving I am loved in return. I've not read that once again. Sometimes, occasionally, I might have a glance through, but I never read anything before I actually come on here to actually do so. And, well, there's a whole variety of various different things you can think of in relation to that, because, of course, the top stories, of course, this week in the news has been Matt Hancock, who has had his WhatsApp messages revealed in the Daily Telegraph. And of course, he wouldn't be the only man or even woman for that matter to fall for the charm of a beautiful woman. But then, of course, everything then ends up in the newspaper. And he himself says that some of those messages have been doctored. Well, it's not for me to comment or anything like that, but it seems as if the guns are really out for the former Secretary of State for Health. And whether he needs to go into the jungle again or go back into the ice rink or whatever it is he needs to do, one thing that would always be said in any kind of a scenario is if you have a different side to a story, or if you are in a situation where something's been said, you've got the evidence, or you've got to speak out. He's categorically denied everything and said that it's said that those messages have been doctored, but the fact is he's got to be strong if he wants to actually try and clear his name or try and restore any kind of credibility. That's if anybody thinks that there is any credibility. As I'm saying, I'm speaking here from like an open kind of angle and being critical as well as objective as well at the same time there. That's why I'm not actually going to give any kind of an opinion. Also this week, of course, the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been facing the Commons in relation to Partygate. And as it was said on the news on, I think it was either Thursday or Friday, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak had actually had quite a good week this week because, of course, with he did well with Prime Minister's questions, but also the deal in regards to Brexit. And okay, I know the DUP and some people aren't completely happy, but it's gone down relatively well, even with the opposition saying that they would support it before it was even announced. So there's a lot of stuff that's been obviously going on there as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, and now of course Partygate is there in the background once again. But there is more that's going to be done in regards to the people who are crossing the channel. He said about going once again about the idea of Rwanda or potential other places. Also, Unite Union ambulance strikes planned for this week have been cancelled. And Britain's most notorious prisoner, Charles Bronson, is set to launch a bid for freedom at a parole hearing tomorrow. And the war in Ukraine continues. The fight now is to try and save the eastern city of Bakhmut, which the Russian soldiers are very much taking, and that's been going on over recent days when they've been closing in more. Let's hope that the resilience and the people of Ukraine of that city can keep that city in Ukrainian hands. All thoughts and prayers are indeed with them. There's somebody else who's been making the headline last night and today. In fact, I think it's been over a couple of days. I'm not even going to mention them, but you all know exactly who it is who I am referring to. Okay, right. So they're the news stories affecting this Sunday evening. I've not heard anything in regard to the football, so I've even though I've got all this technology with me, I've not heard any results. So if it's 0-0, we will see how things go. Right, okay, so I've already kind of hinted at certain things there. We've discussed Matt Hancock, we've discussed Boris Johnson. There's also been another big development in the world of politics as well as far as the Labour Party is concerned this week, and that is their new Chief of Staff, Sue Gray, who is the civil servant, who of course was doing an investigation to Partygate. Now, the way I see this could only be a good move as far as Sir Keir Starmer is concerned, because bearing in mind he has wanted to stamp out all the things which have gone on in past years with past leaders, in particular, of course, Jeremy Corbyn, but also things that were going on even potentially before then, to try and sort things out to make Labour credible to win the next general election, which, of course, is likely to be May or even later of 2024. Unless there is a big bounce in the favour of Rishi Sunak, then it's not looking like there's going to be a general election this year, but who knows? We'll see what happens, see how things go on with various different things, because what some of us may think are good ideas, some may not. There's certain things that I don't necessarily agree with, but some people might think they are very, very good. So we'll just have to see. So, and of course, if there is a whenever there is a general election, of course, Ben Shatliff Online will be covering it throughout the night and throughout the following day. There's no ifs or buts about that whatsoever. So we'll get everything live from here when that election happens. We'll do the same thing for the US elections next year. I just hope and I doubt that they're going to be in the same week. I don't think they've been up to late nights and all days within the same week, but we'll see what happens. But in regards to C. Gray, then she could be helping to make sure that things aren't just cleaned up, but making sure that things are done in such a way so that people do not feel in any pressured bullies or anything like that, not just from what's happening in regards to anti-Semitism, but a whole variety of various different things that happened during the time that not just Jeremy Corbyn was leader of the Labour Party, leading the opposition, and I can say about things that went on even before then. And let's be honest, when I used to be involved in the world of politics, actually going around knocking on doors and asking people to vote for me, well, let's see, I will tell you now that I left that Labour Party before Jeremy Corbyn. So we don't know what would have happened if I'd still been there. I can hazard a guess. I don't think it would have been, because me at the centre ground would not fit it in with Jeremy Corbyn's style of politics. And I've said many times before, I'm not going to say who I'm going to vote for when the general election comes. I know exactly who I'm going to be voting for, but a far left socialism I don't like. A far right Nigel Farage I do not like. I'm right in the middle. So think of it as that goes. Who's there? There could be two or three of them for the moment. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll decide who I'm going to vote for. Well, I know anyway, but I'll make my choice and then we'll see what happens on the night, on the day, whenever. So that's what's happened as far. So big things there for both Labour and Conservative as we end February and go into March. Going back a few months ago, somebody was asking, and I welcome all the comments that people make and people get in contact with various different things. And it was mentioned about rather than just always talking about politics and various different things, speak about other stuff that goes on. So I'm doing well, by the way, and I apologise if I go like that every so often. I do actually have a sore throat. I've been coughing, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to continue without an issue. On Good Morning Britain on Friday, we were talking about the fact that the stage production of The Woman in Black, which has been going on for many, many years at the West End, is coming to an end. But don't worry, I've not seen it myself, but it might be stopping there. It will still be going on elsewhere. So it's not disappearing altogether. Because he said one of the longest running stage productions. I thought, he said a mousetrap, which has been going on for many, many years. But anyway, so I had a voucher. I thought to myself, I wouldn't mind getting that. So on Friday, I actually did something which I'm going to tell you all about shortly anyway. This is about if you've got a goal or want to do an achievement, trying to do it. But one of the things I did on Friday was go to Waterstones in Manchester, and I had a voucher, and I mentioned this, and they said, well, we've got the stage production or we've got the novel. I said, no, the novel. I thought, yeah, the novel is the best one. So I've got that, The Woman in Black. Now, okay, I mentioned there about the second Sunday in May, and still enjoy the mystery. So I'm not trying to promote what I'm saying one thing and going against or anything like that. So that is one thing there, the Woman in Black. This book here, The Black Tower, by the late great P.D. James. By the way, it's Susan Hill who wrote A Woman in Black, The Woman in Black. I've read this before, and the problem is, it's not that I'm not hooked on this book. I really, really am. It's sometimes in the right, okay, I'll spend that time because you get yourself involved in so many different things when you're at home, catching up on all kinds of different stuff. Always looking at Facebook, Instagram, and everything else is going on. So, yes, another 2 really good books to read. In fact, I've got quite a few books there to read as well. Right. On Friday, I set myself a little bit of a challenge because I've been doing these steps for quite some time. But when I say quite some time, I've been monitoring these steps that I've been doing since I took part in the step challenge in May of 2022. And I enjoyed it because it's something which I enjoy going out walking. And I didn't do as much during the pandemic, or into doing it again over the last year or so, and it does help. I mean, okay, your legs can feel a bit stiff afterwards, or your feet sometimes, although I must admit, I didn't feel too bad yesterday, or at least the bottom of the heels didn't. But I managed to achieve 41,000 steps on Friday, which I was really, really pleased about. Now, I'll tell you how I actually went about doing that. I'm going to show you the actual actually was. So there we go. 41,214 steps. That was last Friday. How I did it? Well, a few things. I went to work, took some stuff off, and then I came back home. Well, actually, no, I didn't. I had to walk around the city centre. So I wanted to go to the Hidden Gem. But sadly, the Hidden Gem wasn't open for 8 o'clock, not open until 9:30. I came back home and I walked to Mass at St Michael's for the first time since, for the first Mass that I've attended face to face at St Michael's since October of 2021. So I walked there and then walked back, and then I said, right, okay, so I'm going to go now. I wanted to go to Salford Cathedral. But what I did, I got off the tram at Queen's Road and walked along Queen's Road, Cheetham Hill Road, a Red Bank, went into St Chad's Church where my father used to go when he was growing up, then walked back down Red Bank into Manchester city centre, past Victoria Station, then walked to Salford Cathedral, had a bite to eat in the cafe there and got some stuff from the Cathedral bookshop, and from there I then walked and headed to go to the Hidden Gem. So then went from Salford into Manchester, and then from there, from the Hidden Gem, and then walked along Deansgate. That's when I then went to Waterstones, and then I walked back along Red Bank and Queen's Road, Cheetham Hill Road, Queen's Road, then got back on the tram there, got off the tram at Prestwich, went to Our Lady of Grace, and then did some stuff in Prestwich, walked back, had some dinner, and then went for another walk to then finalise the 41,000 steps. So I was actually quite pleased. Now, I knew that I had the time and that I was able to achieve what I was going to do there. If it'd been a normal day where I'd been in the office all day and various different stuff, I wouldn't have been able to do the full thing like that as such. Well, depending, of course, when like lunchtime walks, that kind of thing. But when you feel that you're close to doing something, then it's really fantastic when you can actually get that achievement and actually do it. So I was really, really pleased in relation to that. So that was over, I think it was about 21 miles or 20 miles or something like that. It's on the thing. So I was very pleased with that. And as I say, yesterday the heels didn't feel as bad as I thought they were going to do. My legs were feeling a bit tired, but yes, I thought I actually walked off this cough and searched for the sore throat, but then it's a little bit funny again. But never mind. Right, okay. Well, that is it for this week on Ben Shatliff on Sunday. As I say, we are going to have a major revamp for Ben Shatliff on Sunday, and that will be taking effect after Easter. But for the meantime, thank you very much indeed for tuning in. Let's hope that the best team is winning that game, which is on at the moment. I cannot be responsible for whatever the result is. For I know the team I want to win may not be winning, but they could be winning. So we do not know. Right, okay, I'm going to leave you as always with Holy his name, because I think it's a nice, beautiful way just to end the programme. I will see you again very soon. For now, take care, stay safe, and just think of all the people in this world who are less fortunate than ourselves, especially the ones in Ukraine and, of course, in Turkey, Syria, and a lot of those other countries there. We think we have tough times here, but you know that things are tougher further afield. Good evening.
My soul is filled with joy as I sing to God my Savior. You have looked upon your servant. generations. Everlasting is your mercy to the people you have chosen, and holy is your name. I am lonely as a child, but I know from this day forward that my name will be remembered. For all will call me blessed, and holy is your name. Through all generations, everlasting is your mercy to the people you have chosen, and holy is your name. I proclaim the power of God. You do marvels for your servants, though you scatter the proud-hearted and destroy the might of princes. And holy is your name through all generations. Everlasting is your mercy to the people you have chosen, and holy is your name. To the hungry you give food, send the rich away empty. In your mercy you are mindful of the people you have chosen, and holy is your name. Through all generations, everlasting is your mercy to the people you have chosen, and holy is your name. In your love you now fulfill what you promised to your people. I will praise you, Lord, my Savior. Everlasting is your mercy, and holy is your name. Through all generations, everlasting is your mercy to the people you have chosen, and holy is your name. Through all generations, everlasting is your mercy to the people you have chosen, and holy is your name. Holy is your name.